is finally here. Welcome in, everybody, to the first ever regular season race of the NASCAR Hunt Brothers Pizza Cup Series. We have 27 drivers that are going to duke it out at Daytona International Speedway. I am so ready to get this race started. You'll see a lot of pack racing, and a lot of three-wide action here at this 2.5-mile superspeedway. But without further talking, let's look at our pre-race storylines for the Daytona 500. See, we have Penske lockout. Cindric was on pole, Ryan Blaney second. They both make up the front row. They did not have to participate in both of the dual races because they had the two fastest qualifying laps. As we go over to Shane Van Gisbergen from Auckland, New Zealand, he is going to be the full-time driver for the number 31 car of Colleague Racing. He has a pretty good starting spot in this Daytona 500. Let's see what he can do in this race. As we go over to Kyle Larson, he has been chasing that Daytona 500 win his entire career, and he has a pretty good starting spot as well. Top 10, 7th position. Let's also see what he can do. And these were the four drivers who crashed in the duels: Alex Bowman, Denny Hamlin, Brad Keselowski, and William Byron. And they do not have good starting positions in this Daytona 500 race, kind of starting in the back. Let's see what they can do. Let's see if they can rebound, maybe get up to the front, and maybe win this race. Who knows? And then finally, Matt DiBenedetto. He did not participate in the duels, so he will start in the back. And Jimmy Johnson is making another return to NASCAR for the Daytona 500 for Legacy Motor Club. Let's see if he can do anything. As now the pre-race storylines are over, now it's finally time to get your command for the Daytona 500 to start engines.
Hunt Brother Pizza Cup Series fans, are you ready for the great American race? I figure every single one of you watching this race and in the crowd is ready for the greatest spectacle in NASCAR. Drivers, start your engines!
As the drivers begin to roll onto the track, let's look at your starting lineup here for the Daytona 500. In row 1, we have Austin Cindric, the pole sitter, and Ryan Blaney, Penske lockout. In row 2, we have Chase Elliott and Ross Chastain. In row 3, we have Shane Van Gisbergen and Martin Truex Jr. In row 4, we have Kyle Larson looking for his first Daytona 500 win, and Chris Buescher. In row 5, we have Todd Gillen and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. In row 6, we have Noah Gragson and Michael McDowell. Row 7, we have Daniel Suarez from Monterrey, Mexico, and Sammy Smith. In row 8, we have Austin Dillon, Eric Jones. In row 9, we have Tyler Reddick and Christopher Bell. In row 10, we have Chase Briscoe and AJ Allmendinger. In row 11, we have Kyle Busch and Joey Logano. In row 12, we have Josh Berry and Bubba Wallace. In row 13, we have William Byron and Brad Keselowski. In row 14, we have Denny Hamlin and Alex Bowman. And then rounding out the field in row 15 is Matt DiBenedetto and Jimmy Johnson. And speaking of Jimmy Johnson, let's check in with the 7-time champion on the radio. Hey Jimmy, it's me up in the booth. Got me?
Yeah, buddy, loud and clear.
So we know you've been in a lot of Daytona 500s and you getting another opportunity at this. What are your thoughts right now?
Man, I'm excited. I guess I'm officially old too as well, but what an opportunity. Huge thank you to Chevrolet, everybody at Legacy Motor Club. Special day, and really looking forward to taking advantage of this opportunity today and having a great time.
All right, thanks, Jimmy. We'll be keeping an eye on you.
Hey, I appreciate it, buddy.
You heard it there from Jimmy. Stay tuned because the green flag will fly in a few moments. As the lights are off on the pace car, we're about to go green, and the pace car is in. Green flag's out in the air in the Daytona 500. Austin Cindric jumps out to that early lead, being pushed by Chase Elliott as they go down the back stretch of the fly by the whole field. Here goes Austin Cindric. He's going to give a big push, and he's left alone. Here comes the pack back, and Chase Elliott will lead lap 1. Chase Elliott still has that lead on the inside as Shane Van Gisbergen moves up a lane, and Chase Elliott still out front with a push from Kyle Larson. As we go on board with Chase Elliott, the Hooters machine, and here comes Michael McDowell all the way from the back of the field, forming 3 lanes as Kyle Larson moves up to the middle with Shane Van Gisbergen, and they're all 3 wide further back. Here he tries to block 3 lanes, and around goes Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott hits the inside retaining wall hard while trying to block 3 lanes, and the first caution comes out in this Daytona 500 race. Look at that damage on the nose of the 9 car. Huge impact from the inside retaining wall. Check it out on this instant replay. And as you can see, they formed 3 lanes behind him. And as you all know, it is very hard to block 3 lanes at a super speedway. Let's look at it slow-mo this time. So you see Chase Elliott coming down the backstretch with 3 lanes behind him. As he goes high to block up McDowell, but then when he comes down low, he gets turned by Kyle Larson. As that's unfortunately going to end Chase Elliott's day. He's going to be towed back. We'll be back after this commercial break. We are back after commercial break. Todd Gillen will lead them into the pits for the first time today.
Todd Gillen has had an amazing run up to this point. He looks to get a good finish. 4 tires and fuel for the 38-0.
Michael McDowell has found his way up to the front of the pack. He's looking pretty sharp right now. 4 tires and fuel just like his teammate Todd Gillen.
Kyle Larson said that he likes how the car is running. He's working to finally get a Daytona 500 win. 4 tires and fuel for the 5 car.
As we see the race off pit road, Kyle Larson gets the spot over Todd Gillen as we are about to go green once again. As the pace car is on pit road, green flags back in the air once again, 6 laps to go in the Daytona 500. As we head off as we go on board with Kyle Larson, the Hendrick.com machine. As they head into turn 3, they're coming to the halfway bonus. Here comes Shane Van Gisbergen with a shove, but Kyle Larson will get the 20 points from the halfway bonus. Here comes Sammy Smith forming that 3rd lane on the outside as Shane Van Gisbergen lead this race. And crash! Shane Van Gisbergen's around in the front of the field, and the caution comes out. So you see Kyle Larson also spun. He's in the grass right now, and many other cars in the back have also crashed too. Let's see how this happened. As they come down the backstretch, and it seems that Chris Buescher got to the inside of Shane Van Gisbergen, and that made him go the opposite way and hit the wall. And it seems as if Kyle Larson spun because he hit Shane Van Gisbergen, which caused him to hit Chris Buescher, and it just caused a chain reaction. Here's the damage on that 31 car. Shane Van Gisbergen will be out of this race, and so are the other cars. Christopher Bell, Austin Cindric, Ryan Blaney, and Brad Keselowski. And here were the other 2 cars involved. Chris Buescher and Kyle Larson. They will still be in this race, but they will start in the back since they will have to repair their damage on pit road. And one other thing I forgot to mention, this happened during the crash, but Eric Jones blew up while the crash was happening, so his day will also be over as well. As Shane Van Gisbergen's going to be towed back to the garage. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back, everybody. We are about to go green, and the pace car's lights are off, and they're in. Green flags in the air. 3 laps to go. As they head into turn 1, Sammy Smith on the inside, Todd Gillen on the outside as they come off 2. Sammy Smith has the lead. And Michael McDowell is up and over. And he comes back on his wheels, and the third caution of the day will come out. And let's check a replay to see how this flip happened. As they come down the backstretch, Sammy Smith was in the lead, and it looks like something broke on that 34 car that caused him to turn right into Daniel Suarez. And after that, he got airborne, going sideways. We've seen that with the cars before, and hard hit on the inside retaining wall. And luckily, he came back on all fours. You see, Daniel Suarez was also involved in that wreck. That was the driver that McDowell turned into during the crash. He will also be out of this race. So 2 cars will be out of this race. It'll be Michael McDowell and Daniel Suarez. Hopefully, Michael McDowell is okay. We'll be back right after this.
NASCAR Community Cup Series heads to Las Vegas on October 20th, 8 p.m. EST.
Welcome back to Daytona International Speedway. Michael McDowell has thankfully climbed out of the car okay, and his car will be towed back to the infield garage. And we are coming with 2 laps to go in overtime. So here are the overtime rules for the NASCAR Hunt Brothers Pizza Cup Series. There are unlimited overtimes, and there can be no cautions on the white flag. If there's a crash, we'll just race back to the line. And if a caution comes out with 2 laps to go, we will just do another overtime. As the lights are off on the pace car, we are ready to get this green-white checkered underway. The pace car is in. Green flag, 2 laps to go. Sammy Smith and Todd Gillen are neck and neck. As they come off 2, Sammy Smith is going to edge out Todd Gillen with a push from Denny Hamlin as they head into turn 3. And he will come off 4. He's going to block Todd Gillen. He's going to try to block Denny Hamlin around. He goes. 1 lap to go. Denny Hamlin now with this lead. The third lane is going to be formed. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is going to fall in. And Denny Hamlin's out of gas. So is William Byrne. And here comes a huge push from Chase Briscoe. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is in the lead. He's neck and neck with Kyle Busch. They make contact. Here they come to the line. I don't know who it is. I think it was Kyle Busch at the line. Oh my gosh, what a finish we just had at Daytona. But let's take a replay of these final few laps on how it all happened. You see the restart with 2 laps to go in overtime. See Sammy Smith on the inside, Todd Gillen on the outside. They head on the backstretch. Kyle Busch was in the third lane with Ricky Stenhouse Jr. And here was the part where Sammy Smith got turned by Denny Hamlin trying to block low, getting turned. And Denny Hamlin took the lead, and you saw Ricky Stenhouse Jr. forming that third lane, and Denny Hamlin and William Byrne running out of gas right there. You see Ricky Stenhouse Jr. got a huge shove, which led him to battle with Kyle Busch. Wow, that was a really close finish. We'll rewind that again. As you see it in slow motion, and it appears that Kyle Busch just barely edged out Ricky Stenhouse Jr. by a mere inch, and Kyle Busch is your season 1 Daytona 500 winner. Wow. And Kyle Busch did not have enough fuel to do a burnout, so he just parked his car on the start-finish line. And congratulations to Snow Trooper 8986. You are the Daytona 500 winner. Thanks for signing up for the number 8. And let's look at the race results from the Daytona 500. Kyle Busch ultimately getting the win here at the Daytona 500. And Ricky Stenhouse Jr. getting a second place finish. So close to winning this race, but falls short. Ross Chastain 3rd, Todd Gillen 4th, Chase Briscoe 5th, Joey Logano 6th, Noah Gragson 7th, Bubba Wallace 8th, Austin Dillon 9th, and Martin Truex Jr. 10th. And 11th was Josh Berry. 12th was Jimmy Johnson. What a finish he had. 13th was AJ Allmendinger. 14th was Tyler Reddick. 15th was Sammy Smith. 16th was Matt DiBenedetto. 17th was Alex Bowman. 18th was Kyle Larson. 19th was Chris Buescher. And 20th was Denny Hamlin. And here are the last 10 drivers that finished. William Byron 21st. And here are all the 9 drivers that DNF'd. Michael McDowell, Daniel Suarez, Shane Van Gisbergen, Christopher Bell, Austin Cindric, Ryan Blaney, Brad Keselowski, Eric Jones, and Chase Elliott. And thank you all race fans for attending the NASCAR Hunt Brothers Pizza Cup Series Daytona 500. Next race, we go to Hampton, Georgia, Atlanta Motor Speedway for the AM Better Health 400. So long, everybody. We'll see you guys next time. Goodbye, everybody.